Value analysis model. To uncover a customer's AOBs about a brand, I turned to a good friend, Ty Ragland. Ty spent his life in pursuit of this and in my opinion is the ultimate master of measuring what customers value. Back in '87 when quality was the hot topic and value was rarely discussed, Ty created what has become the standard of value measurement, the value analysis model. Over 800 value analysis studies across many industry sectors have validated the value analysis model's worth. A value analysis study answers the critical question, what do your customers value? An excellent way to understand your customers' AOBs about your brand is by implementing a value analysis study. This model provides two perspectives on branding. One, optimizing your current brand, that's today's brand, and two, understanding what your customers and prospects will value next, that's tomorrow's brand. Only your customers and prospects know for sure what your brand is today and how it needs to be improved and what it should be in the future. This is revealed through what we call 4 things your customers and prospects want to tell you. With this feedback from your customers and prospects, you can 1. Master the basics, but not invest too much in them. Go beyond the basics to give customers and prospects desirable value. Know what problems they would like to solve, the irritations, and avoid spending resources on what customers and prospects don't care about. These are the 4 customer standards by which all brands are judged. 1. The basics. This is what I expect from any company in your category. This is the cost of entry into the category for your customers to take your product seriously. What I expect. Your customers expect that you will have mastered the basics of your business you're in. If not, your customers are at risk. Even if you deliver on the basics, this alone is not enough to retain their loyalty. If I am contemplating the purchase of a new car, I expect that car to have the basics, which might be things like 4 wheels, anti-lock brakes, power windows, and air conditioning. The value issues. This is where you can add value that differentiates your brand from the competition by going beyond the basics. What I value. As a customer, I expect you to go beyond the basics and deliver to me what I value. The more value you deliver, the greater my loyalty to your product and the more I will pay. Should you fail in offering sufficient value now or in the future, my business will be at risk. The value proposition is your unique selling proposition that you offer in added value that no competitors can deliver. The irritations. These are things of which I am dissatisfied but aren't important enough to drive me away from your brand. What irritates me? Many things your product or service currently does irritate your customers, but hopefully they are not important enough to drive them away. This is especially true if your competitors' products and services have the same deficiencies. Plastic Solo party cups are easily blown away by the wind, but this irritation does not stop us from purchasing them. Unimportant issues. These are the things you do that I don't care about. What I don't care about. The 4th category consists of items that hold no value or interest to your customers and prospects. These are simply unimportant issues to them. For example, I don't care that Chick-fil-A is closed on Sundays. Summing it all up. When a company knows how it stands with its customers on the 4 standards, a clear roadmap is revealed as to both what customers expect of value today and how these needs are likely to change in the future. So the value analysis becomes a roadmap for your branding efforts. The results from this analytical process provide a clear roadmap that you and your customers expect and value today. Keep in mind that these issues constantly change, and what is valued today will become expected of you and your competitors tomorrow. Customer brand evaluation. The 2 most important ways your customers and prospects evaluate your brand and those of your competitors are this. 1. Do they do the basics well? 2. What extra value do they offer me? Now, let's talk about the basics. The basics are what your customers expect from you and your competitors to be considered in the marketplace as a viable purchase option. For example, you expect banks to be safe and restaurants to be clean. You cannot afford to differentiate on the basics. A bank cannot differentiate itself by saying that it is safer, just as a restaurant cannot differentiate itself by saying it's cleaner. They just have to be safe and clean enough. A company's first priority is to be competitive on the basics. Not better, not worse, just competitive. Being better on the basics is a waste of money. Because why? You don't get credit for it. And being worse on the basics costs you customers. Customers can be highly satisfied on the basics, yet still defect if you're not providing sufficient value. For example, a hotel chain decided to spend more money to be cleaner than its competition and offered a white glove service. Since cleanliness is a basic that everyone expects, the chain had only to be competitive in this area. Being squeaky clean at a considerable additional cost was not seen as being valuable to the majority of customers. Being sufficiently clean was all that mattered. You need to ask the right questions to get the right answers. To identify the right issues, sample 30 customers and 30 employees within your company. Competitive information or like business model information can be very helpful. Identify your brand's value issues at each customer touchpoint. Value. Customers and prospects require that you go beyond the basics and provide them with extra value. That extra something for Coke is not the taste. All soft drinks have to taste good or consumers wouldn't drink them, so taste is a basic. The something extra for many Coke drinkers is that the brand represents nostalgia and the American way of life. For many bikers, Harley's something extra is that they feel like they belong to a unique community. How well your customers and prospects think you perform on the basics and what value you bring to the party determines today's perception of your brand. Doing the basics well and giving customers and prospects what they value results in two things: improved customer loyalty and a competitive advantage. Now, a competitive advantage tip: enhance your retail relationships. Conduct studies in conjunction with your retail partners like Target, Walmart, Publix, Kroger, Safeway, whatever, to work together and improve your business. Your efforts now become a partnering tool. Our experience shows that an issue is unimportant to customers because they aren't aware of it. Customers less well informed than the companies assume they are, or they just don't care about it. One of our clients found through value analysis that its award-winning newsletter was unimportant to their customers. When asked why, they learned the following. The newsletter is being included with customer mailing statements, and after removing the invoice, many customers discarded the envelope without realizing there was a newsletter inside it. In short, many customers did not know the company had a newsletter at all because of the way it was being distributed. In short, many customers did not know that the company had a newsletter because of the way it was being distributed. By definition, an irritation is an issue by which customers are not satisfied in an area that isn't critical to customer satisfaction or value perception. There are two implications for irritations. First, irritations tell a company where not to allocate resources. A minor league sports franchise was prepared to spend $400,000 to modify the entrance and exits of its stadium, believing that the wait to exit in the parking lot after a game was a source of substantial dissatisfaction. After conducting a value analysis study, they discovered that while the wait to exit was an irritation, it was not important enough to justify the expenditure. This finding allowed the team to direct financial resources toward more immediate needs without damaging the customer relationship. Second, irritations are potential sources of innovation. One of the GM Saturn automobile plant innovations was a set non-negotiable sticker price. This no-dicker sticker removed the anxiety of haggling over price and turned an irritation for many customers into a value added for the Saturn brand. Value analysis maps show customer satisfaction vertically and value perception horizontally so that the greatest contribution of value on the right and the least on the left. The path to meeting and anticipating customer needs and a value analysis map reveals 4 important types of information. Meeting customer needs. 1. Be competitive on the basics. 2. Deliver on current value theme, anticipating customer needs. 3. Structure to deliver unmet value needs. 4. Plan for emerging value themes. What customers want and prospects value changes over time. Over time, most issues on the value map move counterclockwise as the market evolves and responds to customer needs. Value innovation moves items from irritations to low-value issues as customers perceive these improvements. Then any successful value innovation is copied by competitors and eventually becomes an expected basic for all competitors. As a case study, the commoditization of Starbucks, the chairman of Starbucks put out a memo entitled The Commoditization of the Starbucks Experience. Those familiar with the value analysis model know that this means that many aspects of the Starbucks experience have been moving from value added to basic expectations. Starbucks had previously prospered because it had evolved into a destination offering a sense of community as a place to hang out and meet people in a home-style atmosphere environment. What happened? First, competition in Starbucks drew closer together. McDonald's now offers gourmet coffee, and Starbucks offers more items to eat along with drive-through service. Second, Starbucks has become more efficient, leading to what the chairman called too many sterile cookie-cutter stores. One aspect of this was when they stopped manually grinding beans. The chairman wondered how many customers knew that Starbucks roasted coffee as opposed to just being a retailer. The lessons learned from value analysis are clear. Over time, issues move around the value analysis map in a counterclockwise fashion. What is value today will be a basic tomorrow. Marketers have to know when issues move into value. They need to move when they move up in value and when they move out of value to become basics. Know your value proposition. Companies need to know what their value proposition is from the standpoint of their customers, or they may lose it. McDonald's understood that they were behind in the value curve in comparison with Starbucks in terms of coffee and did something about it. Where is your brand ahead of the curve or behind the value curve? Prior to the introduction of the Honey Baked Ham brand, there was no broadly available, unique tasting premium ham. The introduction of this product added a new value proposition within the category. Competition responded and copied the Honey Baked Ham product. The Honey Baked Spiral Sliced Ham is now widely available and pretty much a commodity across the board. What does this mean for the Honey Baked Ham firm? Once the basic product has evolved to become a commodity, Honey Baked Ham still needs to differentiate itself to command a premium price. One way Honey Baked Ham competes today is that the brand is sold as and valued as a gift. The two key questions every brand needs to keep answering. 1. Where is your brand ahead of the value curve as compared to most of your direct competition? 2. Where is your brand behind the value curve as compared to most of your direct competition? Every branding issue goes through a life cycle, moving in and out of value to eventually become a basic. This is why continuing attention to one's proposition relative to the competition is critical. The minute your brand is successful with a new value proposition, competitors will begin to want to share in that success with you, and that means that you need to start planning for your next value proposition. Every brand is by nature of survival in the brand innovation business. If your brand is not evolving, it is dying. Bottom line lessons. 1. Deliver on the basics. If there is a weakness in the basics of your product, it does not matter how much value you offer, your business will be hurt. Your brand must retain competitive on the basics. 2. Deliver sufficient basics. If you perform the basics better than your customer requires, you are wasting money because you don't get any credit for what you're doing. When a sufficiently clean hotel is all that matters, the additional cost of a white glove clean hotel room holds no additional value to your customer. So advertise on the value in an established product or service category. You should never advertise on the basics. The basics do nothing to separate you from your competitors. The value arena is the only place to differentiate yourself from your competition and the only place to spend your ad dollars. Value equals loyalty. Every business wants loyal customers. If you're doing the basics well and providing extra value, then why would any customer leave? 5. Keep innovating. To stay ahead of the value curve, improve your performance on the high value, low satisfaction issues, these are value opportunities, or add value irritations. Next up, at-risk customers.